Example you showed there.
Yep.
Who called up the BIM model like you guys? Well, the tech that the design was like.
It works slightly differently in Finland in that the engineering houses actually do the detailing as well. So the engineer effectively controlled the model, I believe, on that particular project.
The engineer would decide to call it the BIM model or design.
Yeah, would call that for and coordinate that BIM model, as I understand it. Typically, it would be in the US, it would be the contractor, the general contractor, would actually manipulate that model and manage it in terms of that, getting that information in the other ones in. There is, I think have you got a picture of it? Yeah, just to prove that that the Viuca building that we've been showing you is a true model, or a true structure, should I say. Yes, that's the actual structure on site in an unusually pleasant day in Helsinki. It is, yes.
Well, you use the term all building software.
Yeah.
Maybe elaborate on that. Exactly what you mean by that.
Well, we appreciate at Tekla, we appreciate that our software, whilst it can do a lot, can't do everything. And we know that different disciplines and different companies are going to use different types of software. So we try wherever possible to integrate with those other softwares. So as I showed, the list of softwares that we could interoperate with.
And so the IFC.
IFC is our preferred.
Interoperability.
Tekla are dedicating a lot of time to the building smart alliance. In terms of trying to push IFC as the preferred format for passing information. It's purely because IFC, whilst technically quite difficult to achieve with the software, provides much more information than a 3D DWG, for example, in terms of lines and geometry from a DWG, whereas you're actually getting part information within an IFC. So as long as the information is exported from the originating software with the information in, Tekla can read it. That's the critical thing. It has to be there in the first place.
There are other ways as well. We can use things like SDNFs, the steel detailing neutral file. That's another way that I can bring in solid steel objects, and again that brings in the volumetric item. So that's another method that the steel details are using. So there are other ways, but IFC just tends to be our preferred way because of the control. And just like the HVAC type people and Autodesk type products can work with IFC format. It's just the easy way.
Yes, sir.
Can Tekla be integrated with likes of quantities of EIN applications like BuildSoft? Because I was impressed seeing your schedules of quantities, and I don't know if I've seen rates, but can it be actually measured with an application that's going by new rules of measurement or ARN4?
Yes, well, again, we at Tekla we would be confident we'd be able to do that. At the very least, I mean, at the very least, in terms of SAP, for example, we've actually got a company who have linked SAP, Tekla, and their ELIPlan manufacturing planning software. So the Tekla model fires information directly into their SAP system to get costed.
If I was measuring, say, like BuildSoft,
yeah,
and I was using your 3D modeler, and automatically that would then automate straight over into my bill of quantities that's been used on BuildSoft.
Yes. Depending what format the estimate software they're using takes.
Yeah, if it has
for example, a common delimited file for an Excel format.
Yeah.
The information's in there. The beauty of Tekla as well is because we have this open API, you could actually write something in a third-party software that would translate it from one to the other.
Sure.
Yeah.
There is a danger though with using the word automated, because in DIT last semester we worked with Revit and we worked with ArchiCAD, and whilst BuildSoft, we were able to quantify using these models, we still as a QS have to check. Still have to have that check. You can't just rely on what it chucks out. Yeah.
That brings me to another question. So, have you been looking at in geospatial information systems like building automated systems, sensor webs? Because you mentioned Trimble do stuff like facility management. Have you looked at any of that avenue for facility management?
Especially the US and the moment actually taking that angle at the moment to the moment we're still trying to get into more of the clients to push them that way and show them the benefits.
The difficulty we have is that a lot of the time when we're dealing with other software houses and other systems, we're actually not told a great deal until it's released, if you know what I mean, because of non-disclosure agreements between the companies. But I can certainly find out.
Just give you a bit of background. I work with Andy and CITA, so was working at the University of Salford in the summer,
Okay.
and we were doing work on behalf of the Department of Innovation, Business and Skills for the UK department. And we're doing these kind of investors report to kind of get people to buy into using BIM, but it's not like vendors, we're actually looking at the consumers to buy in.
Yeah.
And we've delivered some great reports on it, but we've been showing 8 to 10% savings at contractual stage. But we've no kind of empirical research to show at the very concept stage of how anything can be released. Can you make savings from the initial design stage?
Yeah.
Everything we do is actually kind of post-contract. So I was wondering if you have any information, anything from when designers actually get on board, like using, I don't know, rendering packages or stuff for developers or anything like that in relation to a life cycle cost in over 25 years. If you have any information on that, it'd be welcome.
Nothing going back that far at the moment. Typically, historically, tech has been used purely for the detailing side, and as soon as the drawings are produced or the 2D deliverable as it stands at the moment, the model's effectively cast aside, and that's what we're trying to change now. Is to have that model taken all the way through the process, so we can get some sort of metrics and measurement.
The Smart Nights in the States are actually using that with the organisation of Geospatial Consortium. There's a project ongoing at the moment, AEC 001. I think they're to show a live cost that. I was only asking because I couldn't find anyone in the UK to give me information on that either.
Well, I can speak to we've got a pretty good relationship with our guys in the US because they've been pushing this, the contractor side and the client side for sort of 2 or 3 years now. So we're sort of at the start of that process, but we can have a chat with them and see what they know about it. Absolutely, yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
If you catch up with us at the end, I'll give it to you.
well, that was good as well. I'll just show you this while I'm back up on the screen. So all those dates from that task manager, what we can do with the project steps visualization is step through these days. So I stepped through 7 days. You can see the foundations there, I've gone in 7 more days, start to do the columns, start to do strip footings, step through another 7 days. And of course you'll see the next phase of the construction, and of course we can jump through 40 days if you want to. And of course we can report on these at each stage and get a very accurate sequence of events of how the project's going to go together. So that was the end of the presentation.
The graphics card I need to use. Yes.
Yeah, the example you gave very impressive, the Jet Stadium, where you see huge savings. However, I mean, a lot of the companies, the Irish construction sector, are obviously a lot smaller.
Yeah.
In the current climate, dealing with projects which are infinitely smaller. I'm just wondering, do you have any sense of what the threshold and how far down the market that the tool will scale? When does it cost in? Like if you do 2-3 bed semi-detached houses,
Yeah.
probably not. But at what point do the savings justify getting this software? And I suppose the second part of that question then, can the software be made available, for example, like a software as a service platform, or would you get it to a larger market?
We have customers who do, agricultural sheds, portal framework, pretty small jobs, silos and things like that. Obviously, the cost of the software, there are different configurations of the software that allow you to do different things. So, for example, someone doing a portal frame shed might have a light version of the license, which is a significant cost saving over the full license. But it is going to take longer to recoup benefits on those smaller jobs. I don't think there's any doubts about that. The Meadowland Stage Estate it's a great example, but it is really the far end of the process in terms of what people are doing, but what other people can aspire to. But as I say, it might not be quite the same for a 10-ton ball frame or something like that.
We're also starting to find that some of the smaller detailers are actually building a lot more information into their models, so that they actually can get more work. So we've actually that's where we're like at the moment. Is people want to be able to do more with the technical structures model to then go back to the client and the contractor and say, look, I can give you this as well as and get more work from them.
Trying to add value.
Bootstrapping your business.
Just trying to add value in the current climate. Anything to try and win as much work as possible. So it's very difficult.
To what extent are contractors using the tool during the bidding phase for a project, during the estimating tender?
In the UK,
Yeah.
not really. We've just got our first major contractor customer. Historically, they've just used our viewer tool just to view the steel structural model. In the US, I think they've got something like 30 customers now, 30 contractors, general contractors, and they've got 10 of the top 20 in the US are actually using Tekla structures. They will, it varies between the contractors, it actually varies between the projects as well, because a certain project might not lend itself, for example, if a design build project might lend itself more to creating that early tender model for estimating purposes, or they might be given a scheme, or it might be, it might not be suitable for a refurbishment, say, for example. So it does very much depend on a project by project basis.
Are you getting any feedback on the benefits for suitable projects?
Yeah, we've got quite a lot of case studies, particularly coming up from the US now. And what I spoke to Suzanne about was I'll actually send around an information pack on email, just with some different case studies and some testimony from our clients. One, we've got Barton Mallow, who are a major contractor in the US, are doing a lot of work. There's a hospital, isn't there, I think? But they've actually started to now take the lead for the life cycle management. They've got maintenance schedules, and they've actually been measuring against a traditional project in terms of cost savings when things go wrong because they haven't been properly maintained and haven't been tracked through. So that information is coming from an overall BIM perspective. It's just trying to get that information out of people. I mean, our customers will actually say to us that as much as we try and get the information out of them in the metrics, they'll actually say that that's not what they're concerned about. They're trying to change people's attitudes rather than just look purely at the financial.
It could be a factor that could cause a contractor to win a bid in a I don't know, David, in an interview situation or a presentation to a client. If you had the model produced or semi-produced and you had the substructures fully designed and so on, it could be the thing that swings it, that causes you to win the job.
We have customers doing that at the moment.
The modelled information would have to be issued as part of the tender documentation.
Yes, but you could probably build it from a 2D set of drawings, if you had an experience.
But I'm specifically focusing on as a bidding aid, as an estimating aid. There seems to be potential there for logistics and the prices for prelims.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have customers using that. We have O'Reilly Concrete, actually, they take a 3D model to all their tender meters included in their in their tender pack, and let's say as soon as something's modelled in Tekla, then you can get the information out. So you just literally put a beam in, right click, you can tell the volume of concrete in there, what embeds, what reinforcement is in there.
Yeah, you can see the Irish companies are using it. You can Tekla and companies are using it.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Tekla, O'Reilly, or Fisher Engineering.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we're just really trying to push the contracts there. So that's our main goal. Yes.
In terms of integrated project delivery in the team, I mean, if you're bringing in, say, a Revit model from the architect,
yeah.
What is the process? Are you using the concrete panels in that building, for instance? Are you using the modeled elements, or are you basically just using the architecture model as a reference and remodeling?
It depends. If you can bring it in as an IFC, I mean, for example, if it's if it's some sort of really intricate cladding or something, or a very sort of heavily designed item, then we could just report on the IFC. As long as the information, you wouldn't necessarily have to remodel it. As long as the information's come out of Revit, then you can actually do costings, or you can do a constructability analysis from that. The construction management configuration of Tekla, which is our latest offering, you can't. There's no functionality for modelling in it. So the idea is that you're getting that IFC information with as much information in it as you possibly can from the outset, and then you're starting to create the reports and have the design all in one model. That's that's our reference model concept. As I said, that's what we're really driving towards. Because then you're reusing data. This is the thing that we're trying to eliminate, is this having to recreate the data. I mean, at the moment, you might get a 2D DWG, and then you're going to have to model in over the top of it in Tekla. But the idea is that if everyone could move towards this IFC approach, because we accept that not everyone's going to use the same software. Architects aren't going to use Tekla because currently we only have 16 colours, and architecturally speaking, that's not enough. But the next version will have 256 colours actually.